So she was here with me to tell about the story that happened today. So I am going to censor a little bit of what happened at the hockey game at the end of this video. But I wanted to tell you guys what happened. So we took Carolyn to her first hockey game today, knowing the risks of, so it was supposed to be like sensory / special needs night. They called it sensory night. I think they just called it sensory night. I thought it was sensory sensitive night. I don't know. But I think they just called it sensory night. Anyways, it said on there, like when you go to buy the tickets, they're like, hey, tonight is sensory night, blah, blah, blah. Like, just keep it down, be thoughtful of others, things like that. When you go to buy tickets, it says that, and then you have to agree to it, and then you can buy the tickets. Well, people didn't know. They didn't, I don't know if they just didn't read it or they just agreed to it. Because, when they're like, hey, read these conditions, and then you click agree, and then you can go on. Sometimes people don't read it. They just scroll down, click agree, and on the way they go. So I don't think they had, now we weren't there we were there for the first period, but we were there like halfway through the first period. And, can you get out of my face? She wants a WA. Okay. I'll give it to her in a little bit. Can you sit down? Sit down. Thank you. So, here, lay down. Lay down. You're going to have to wait for mommy. Lay down. Lay down. This is my dog, y'all. Okay, but anyways, anyways, we went there, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, like, it does get kind of loud in there with, like, all the talking and stuff like that, but it's a Monday night, or it's a Monday, and it's at 3 o'clock. There's not going to be a lot of people there, It's Martin Luther King Day. People are going to dinner and lunches and stuff like that, because people have like deals, like restaurants have deals right now on Martin Luther King Day. So I'm thinking, not that many people are going to be there, which was true. There was not a lot of people there, not as much as when they have games on Friday nights or Saturday nights. Like there wasn't as much people as when those games are going on. So, but there was quite a bit of people there. They were, talking, chatting, whatever, and it was a little loud, like what you would normally here at like a stadium, like the one that we went to. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want you guys to be banging on them after I tell you what happened, but which they were great, but it wasn't good for Carolyn. So anyways, Carolyn was fine for the first 10-20 minutes. Things that I thought were super loud for her were not bothering her, like the talking and the music was not bothering her. I was like, oh, this is great. And she sat in her own seat and was watching the hockey players go back and forth. She was having a good old time. She was pressing her little bear button and whatever. And then they got a goal. And everyone was like, it went to like, and then people were like, oh yeah. And then there was like screaming going on. There was cowbells going on. Like, I was like, what the heck is going on? So then I was like, oh my gosh. So, she bent over and started convulsing, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and like, I covered her ears, and I was like, she was sitting in my lap, and I was covering her ears, and I looked at, T, and I was like, this is not sensory. And he's like, so he went to go talk to the customer service to be like, what the heck's going on? I thought this was supposed to be sensory night, and you guys got the lights going on, and for like epileptic people, like that could have been a really bad situation. Anyways, but they got the lights going off and all these lights going on. They got this guy on the speaker going, "Goal! Grizzlies got a goal! Make some noise!" And people are going freaking crazy. And then they got the buzzers going off like, brr, brr, and I'm like, holy crap! Like the buzzers. They said the buzzers weren't supposed to go off. The speaker was supposed to be a little bit quieter than that, and he's not supposed to say make some noise. Like they were supposed to be staying calm. Like, I don't understand. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what the heck is going on? So he went to go talk to customer service. I was like, I went to go suction Carolyn, and the suction machine was like almost dead. And when I went to go suction her, I was pulling on it, like, okay, like I was doing it by myself, and I had her in my arms, and like I couldn't like suction her that well. So when I went to go pull it, it pulled her trach and it pulled it out, and I was like, gosh. So I set her down, and I took, I had gloves, sterile gloves in my backpack. Took a glove, popped the trach back in there, and kept on suctioning her while she was sitting down by herself. And then I called Trent to see where the heck he was. I'm like, where are you? And he's like, well, you know, like, I went to go talk to customer service. They said that they're sorry, they can't switch us seats, and we can get earmuffs for her, like sound canceling headphones for her. And I was like, okay, they talking about the pro shop? And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, how much are they in the pro shop? Well, they're $55. No, we're not doing that. So he comes back down, tries to suction her again. The suction machine's dead. And I'm like, we're leaving. We've got to go. We've got to go. Carolyn is freaking out because they're making so much noise. And the suction machine's dead. We need to go. We need to leave. So Trent's like, dang it. And I was like, I know. Like, this sucks. So he picks up, mind you, I charged the suction machine I charged it for an hour before we had to leave. So I don't know why it was dead. And so when Teen went to go pick up Carolyn, her G-tube popped out of her stomach. What the heck? So I'm like, oh my gosh. So mind you, I have the vent, I have Carolyn's suction machine, I have the diaper bag, and I have her food bag. We're running up these stairs with all these things. And I'm like out of breath. Like, I feel like I'm going to pass out. But like, I'm running up the steps with all these things. And then Trent looks around when we get to the top of the steps, finds a freaking picnic table, pops through on the picnic table, waves this guy over that's like an usher or whatever, and was like, we need medical attention. So he runs to the medical clinic that thankfully was like 20 steps away from us. And they come out, and Trent's like ordering people, I need lubricant, I need this, I need that. And they're like, what's going on? And I was like, my daughter has a G-tube, like, we're trying to put it back in her. We need, like, the things that he's telling you we need, it was what we need. And he's like, I need this, I need that. And they were like, you mean like KY jelly? And he's like, that'll work, whatever, that lubricant you guys have would work. And finally they found surgical lubricant, which was better than K&Y, because why would you use, I don't know. Adults, you know what K&Y is. But anyways, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I cannot believe this is happening. So we got lubricant, they had just like saline syringes just ready, like, to just use. So we're like, okay. And then like, Trent, before we got the lubrication, Trent was like trying to lubricate it with the saline syringes that they had, and he's like, it's not going in. And I was like, oh, we need like a little like golf tee to put it in, because that's what makes it stiff to put it in. And he's like, and then like the people were like, we don't have that. And he's like, do you have a Q-tip? They're like, yeah. And he goes, give me a knife and a Q-tip, or some scissors and a Q-tip. So they're like, we have a knife. So they gave him a pocket knife. He cut off the end of the Q-tip, popped it in the little G-tube, boom, popped it right in, like not hard, but he put pressure on it. And he said he heard like a pop, but like, it was in, right? It was on the dirty Maverick floors, it was on the dirty floor. It's on the dirty floor. And we were like, oh, crap. So we did go to, after we got it in, everything was fine. We blew up the balloon for the end of it. I mean, everything, we got it back in. It was very stressful. We were like, oh my gosh, like, what else can happen that can go wrong, right? Everything that went wrong, or everything that could have gone wrong, did. Like, we were freaking out. And then It was funny because when we were doing it, they were like, do you do this at home? Like, like, has this happened before? And we're like, yeah, sometimes, very rarely, but it happens, we're like, we're just ready for anything that pops up usually. But now I know to bring an extra G-tube with me because apparently that stuff kind of happens. So you need an extra G-tube just in case your G-tube pops out of your child's stomach, because who would have even thought I needed an extra one of those? I don't know. So anyways, that happened. It was ridiculously, insanely stressful, and I was very, I was about to cry. So then we saw this guy, and we told them what was going on, and we're like, we want to talk to management because apparently this is a sensory, we need to be aware, tell these people so they can be aware, and let other people know that they might need to go home, or they can tell the people to be a lot less loud or something like that. So we're walking to the corporate office with this guy, and he's like, we have elevators. No, we did not know that. So, because we walked up 2 flights of stairs to get to our seats. So, and mind you, like I said, I had the suction machine, I had the vent, I had the diaper bag, and I had her food bag. So, I had a lot of bags. So, anyways, and then T had Carolyn, obviously. So, that was a lot of weight on us. Going up 2 flights of stairs, and then it was a lot. Anyways, so we went down the elevator with this guy. He was one of the security guards, but he was like, I know where the corporate office is, I'll take you to it. Took us to the corporate office, and we were telling them, we're like, hey, this isn't sensory, and they told us that we are not the first people who complained about it. A bunch of people called and complained about it. And apparently the people that were trying to work on it didn't do everything they were supposed to do to make sure, they didn't tell the announcer, they didn't tell the buzzer people, the people that, they didn't tell anybody about the sensory night. The staff that's supposed to know about it didn't know about it. They're like, oh yeah, we set this night, there's a lot of things we have to do in order to have this night, blah, 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 blah. But then they didn't tell the people that needed to know about it. What all goes into the sensory night? You guys didn't have any signs up or posters or anything like that. A lot goes into it. What went into it? Because all the whole staff of this game didn't know about it. After people called, they ended up telling them to turn the buzzers off and stuff like that and things, which they did. They turned the buzzers off, they turned the lights off, they lowered the speaker and things like that, but they didn't, you can't tell the fans to be quiet. You just can't. So at that point you can't anyways. So we were just like, it's time to go. So we left, but it was just, and then on the way home, Carolyn was as happy as a clam, but during it, her eyes were half closed like this. Under her eyes were really, really red. You could just tell she was overstimulated and overwhelmed and just exhausted and just miserable. She was just miserable. And I hate seeing my baby like that. And I was like, we need to leave. This is not. So not the first hockey game experience we wanted, but maybe when she gets older and she gets less sensitive to sounds and things like that, maybe we can take her back and try it again. It's kind of trial and error with these things, but never ever again will we go to a hockey game while she is this little. It's not gonna work. So yeah, thank you for the nurses that watch her when we do go to hockey games because we do go to them very often, and our respite care nurse watches Carolyn, so thank gosh for her. But it just kind of sucks that she's not going to be able to share that experience with us. So that kind of sucks. But anyways, that's what happened. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified for all the new videos I post. I post sporadically on different things. Also, if you are new, or if you're not new, you know what to do. Give this video a thumbs up, like us, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye. Hockey did not go as planned. Corporate office. Her G-tube popped out of her stomach. So, not the game we wanted.